In this video, I want to talk a bit about what Wallingford Town Council's responsibilities are, because obviously that has a major impact on what we as councillors on Wallingford Town Council do. But before I get into that, I want to look at the local environment a bit broader, because there are actually 3 different councils in play within Wallingford, and they all do slightly different things. Some of you may have seen this next picture. We sometimes refer to this affectionately as the donut of responsibility, because it highlights what the 3 different councils, Oxfordshire County Council, South Oxfordshire District Council and Wallingford Town Council, are responsible for, and therefore provides a really good indication of how we fit into the local council environment. I've got a copy of the donut here, and looking at it you can quite clearly see some of the areas that they are responsible for. For example, they're responsible for roads, public transport, for the libraries, for youth facilities, training standards, education, blue badges, for example. And in Wallingford, our elected official is Councillor Keats-Rohan. And his contact details can be found on the S.O.D.C website. The next ring deals with South Oxfordshire District Council, and one of the first things that jumps out at me based on where we are at the moment with the 2 casual vacancies is that they are responsible for the elections themselves and electoral services. But they also deal with council tax and benefits, tourism business support, fly tipping, dog bins and fouling, CCTV, that's all them, recycling and waste, antisocial behaviour, I'm assuming prevention rather than cause. And at that level, we actually have 2 councillors. We've got Councillor James Barlow, contact details available here, and Councillor Katherine Keats-Rohan, contact details available here. Some of you might recognise Katherine, as she also splits her time, if you will, on Wallingford Town Council. And then the final ring talks about Wallingford Town Council, and there's some very specific listed points in there. For example, the maintenance of the Kinecroft and the Bullcroft, the properties that we manage, the floral displays that we put on, some of the events that we put on throughout the year and others that we support. But in my experience, the role is actually a lot more varied than that. It can't quite be prescribed down in the same way that, for example, district and county can, to very specific items. There's actually quite a degree of flexibility that allows us to look into things that aren't necessarily our direct responsibility. So, for example, Wallingford Town Council is the primary funder for the Wallingford Way Family Centre. Now, based on what we talked about a minute ago, child services is an O.C.C thing, but Wallingford Town Council has taken that responsibility on. One of the councils is currently looking at a community transport scheme, and we've gone for a grant for that to see if we can help within the town. And again, that wouldn't typically be town council's responsibility, but we're looking into ways that we can supplement, we can help, and we can try and push forward. And in fact, that's probably one of the biggest juggling acts that we have to do. In theory, the amount of things that we can get involved in, the amount of projects we can deal with is somewhat, infinite. We can kind of get involved in a lot of different areas. However, resources are not. And that includes funds, that includes the officers that work on all of these projects, the sheer amount of time in a day. Prioritising what we can do and how we can do it is a really key skill for being on town council. So why would you want to become a councillor on Wallingford Town Council? Well, taking the second bit first, Wallingford Town Council is essentially a product of the Wallingford environment. I've said before, and we say it often, that we're so lucky to have a really strong community vibe in the town, that so many people get involved, that so many people are willing and want to put the effort into making our town better, more interesting, cleaner, just everything to make it a better place to live. And Wallingford Town Council is trying to play its part in that. There are certain things it's easier for us as a town council to do. There are certain things it's easier for us to actually lend support to others doing. And there are certain other things where it's not practical for us to get involved. But the town council, in my view, its role is there to facilitate, to help, to support the community as a whole. And then if you take that by extension into what councillors do, then I feel that that is what we as councillors, our role is there to do. Yes, we have certain responsibilities, certain statutory responsibilities. We've got a lot of properties, for example, we need to manage, a lot of historical assets that need maintenance and support. But also, what else can we do? If you join the town council, you will get to see a lot more about what this town does, and you'll be able to play a part in helping it to progress further forward. And I think that's always interesting, to be able to support your home, to be able to facilitate making it better. Now, other councils will probably highlight different aspects of the role, different things that really excite them about it, different frustrations, because we're not saying it's perfect by any shape of the imagination. Like any role, any job, any task, it has its moments. And I would recommend that you reach out to my fellow councillors as well, and to myself if you want to have a broader conversation about this. All our contact details are on the website. I'll pop that here somewhere. So my next couple of videos are going to cover two key areas. One, what you need to do in order to nominate yourself for the election. And two, our tips, if you will, from our experiences last May on how to run an election. They're not rules, you can do whatever you want within certain confines, but they are tips that we found useful, having gone through it predominantly for most of us for the first time last year. So yeah, those will come out over the next couple of days, and it's looking likely that Thursday, the 18th, the first day that you will be able to submit your nomination, we are looking at holding an event in the evening in the town hall, where a number of councillors have agreed to turn up, so we can talk to you face to face about the role, about responsibilities, about what we enjoy. Because as I said earlier, every council will probably have something different that they will highlight as a reason for doing this. But also we're going to get some of the blank forms up there so we can help guide you through person to person what to do, how to fill it in, and hopefully that will help. Take care.